Disclaimer, the pros are obviously pros and I love and respect them, but whenever they tell you their camera settings and they're going over what each one means, I found something that is kind of hidden / a lot of people don't talk about. We're talking about swivel speed. Now, what exactly do the pros tell us swivel speed means? Let's start off with Daniel.
0.35. And swivel speed, this is just how fast your right stick moves. Some pros have this at 10, some have it all the way down. I just like it like somewhere in the middle like that.
It's between 0.35 and 0.65 really, like I spoke about. Swivel speed. Okay, the higher you can go with this, with still having control over the way you're where you're seeing with your right stick. That's what this does. Swivel speed lets you dictate how fast your camera turns when you use your right stick. The higher you can go with having control, the better. Okay, simple as that, because you're gonna have more information more quickly. Okay, so I would always think that players can't go too high. Some players, you know, a lot of players go crazy with this and have it up here. I personally would hate that. Okay, I just wouldn't be able to see it and register it as quickly. I've never used that high. I would always recommend between 1.5 and 2.5 ish. Okay, if you want lower.
Okay, Abject. He plays. I forgot what he said. He said like 2 point something. I used to play on 2.9 for about a year straight. And then when I revisited all my camera settings and exactly trying to tweak them, I found out, you know, that swivel speed is actually camera speed, is really what it should be called. But yeah, it's basically how fast does the camera react to, you know, your car and the ball. So 1.0 is going to be super stable, but it's not necessarily going to feed you like updated angles. I'll say updated, you know, angles and information. That's the kind of best way I can describe it. You'll have to play around with it to see what I'm talking about. Now 10, on the other hand, 10 is going to update very fast, but it's not going to be very stable at all. So we're doing a little experiment here. And basically what I'm going to do is run a test. I'm going to do some practice shots that I felt gave the best examples. Some of the shots are going to be on 1.0 and you can see kind of how the camera behaves and how that affects my gameplay, and as well as do some on 10 to basically do the same thing, to see how that affects gameplay and see, you know, how the camera reacts. So let's get into the footage. This is going to be the 1.0 swivel speed, so a very slow camera speed. If you guys don't believe me in what I'm saying here in this video, I challenge you to go change this setting on your account. You know, like let's say you play on 10, change it to, or closer to 10, change it down to 1. If you play really low, like 2, change it up to 9 and see if it makes you whiff sometimes. See if it completely makes you miss the ball. Me personally, I switched mine from 2.9 up to 3.3. And I was missing the ball sometimes, completely missing like my hook shots. Like I wouldn't even touch the ball and I was like, what is going on here? And then I realized kind of, that's when I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh. But anyways, so we're playing on 10 now. See how the camera, it's like moving over to my right. And I know what you guys are going to say, like these clips don't look any different. But what I'm telling you, like it's very subtle. It is very subtle, so like some of you might be able to see what I'm talking about, some of you may not. But this is one, very stable, but it's not really allowing me to get the best read on the ball. Obviously I can see the ball, but can't really make a good angle to connect. The point of this video is just to give you guys information. I'm not asking you to change your camera settings. The thing about Rocket League, it is hugely dependent on muscle memory and just repetitiveness, you know what I'm saying? So and instantly as soon as we hit 10, we get the right read there. Like I said, 10 is a lot higher than what I'm used to playing on, so my reads aren't necessarily the greatest at all. And this video is purely for educational purposes. Obviously, back to the pros, like, you know, Daniel's freaking Daniel. You know, he's part of the best North American team. And Abjack is freaking awesome. I watch almost all his videos, you know, and I think these guys are both great players. I think Abjack would probably benefit to turning up his swivel speed, probably up to like at least 2.9 or 3. Might make him, it basically like allows you to make reads faster and stuff like that. Especially like when the ball is kind of zooming around your car, you know, as it sometimes does in Rocket League because it's a chaos game. And, you know, Daniel being able to play on 4, I mean, that's pretty dang high. I mean, you got to have a really fast reaction time to be able to make adjustments on a 4. I mean, I guess 4 is not too bad. Now, if y'all think I'm tripping and y'all think that this does not mean camera speed, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But if you do that, I also, if you're going to tell me I'm tripping, I want you to have gone into games and play 3 or 4 games and tell me, did you not see any kind of difference? Let's, this is me testing my air dribbles with the 1.0 speed. It's very stable, but not necessarily, you know, giving me the correct angles that I need, you know what I mean, to be able to pull off like an air dribble how I'm used to. See how it's like super stable and like doesn't really move at all? And you'll see what I'm talking about whenever I switch to 10. You'll see like a big difference. Okay, let's try 10. I think if you guys haven't been able to see what I'm talking about, you'll definitely be able to see it here. See how it like keeps up with me better, you know what I mean? But I can't play on 10 just because it's too crazy, you know what I mean? It's not, even though it keeps up with me better, I need more stability, you know what I'm saying? Something as delicate as an air dribble too, you kind of have to be able to play on the right camera speed. One thing I will say, if you guys struggle with air dribbles, like if you've never been able to do it, or you know, it's pretty inconsistent. I was like that when I played on camera stiffness 5.0, but once I switched to 5.5, or yeah, 0.55. I just moved it up just a hair and it made it a lot more stable for me. So if you guys maybe can't air dribble, try turning up your stiffness just a hair and see if that makes a difference or helps any. If it doesn't, then do not, you know, just switch back. Just disclaimer too, while talking about settings, I don't want to mess you guys up. I'm purely just trying to give you guys information. It's just a 10, not really getting good reads on it, I imagine. Or I hope this isn't my swivel speed and I'm messing it up. I think it is, to be honest with you. I think this is the one that I normally play on. Yeah, I think that was the 3.0, 3.3.